Yo, what's up, Clipper Nation? We are here, your favorite show, Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. We got a lot to talk about. It's a lot of moves that's been going down, a brand new arena that's going to come, and we have to tell you our favorite things about the summer so far. Once again, thank you for joining us here with Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. Hey, once again, I'm Michael Matthew here with you. After having a great season here, doing our thing in studio in Crypto.com arena, we're ready for some new things as we're going to see the Clippers move over to their beautiful new arena, which we're going to talk about later.
Yes,
me and my guy, Beeve here. What's up, Beeve? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Off season's been good. I've been on vacation, but it's about time to get back in the office and get to this dirty work because the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know, the lease is up outside of crypto, so now we in Intuit.
Ooh, they're getting into it and into it.
Getting straight to it, and let's just jump straight into it then.
No, yeah, it's been, NBA offseason, which is, I always say, the best offseason in sports with the trades, the draft, all the different things that happen. But we got to start. We're not going to start with the additions. We got to start with the major subtractions that happened so far. The Clippers lose, of course, Paul George, PG, one of the faces of the team. Russell Westbrook is no longer there. No Daniel Tice.
Yep.
No Mason Plumlee. But let's start with the big dog. No Paul George, a guy who averaged 25 and 3.7 assists last year for the Los Angeles Clippers. Man, how big of a loss, or is it a big loss to you, B?
It's not a big loss. For the simple fact, the ball of confusion is now out the room. It's too many times that PG has been on record saying one thing and then he come back and do another thing. And now, just watching how the whole saga unfolded, it makes sense when the Clippers last season went on that little drought.
Yeah.
It started with Paul George.
Okay.
And it's like, you held the team hostage during that stretch in which now the Clippers could have been set up in a better standing, but instead you and your feelings about some money. And then I give it to you. They lowballed you. Yeah. But you got to remember, you're taking your $50 million option plus 2 years. That's 113.
Yeah.
That means somebody else got to take a hit somewhere else, which, but then you talking about no trade clause and all that. It was just like a ball of confusion. And I'm finally happy that, it's gone.
Yeah. I think I said it earlier in the year, look out for Philly, because I just kind of had a feeling if it didn't go as the way that PG wanted it to go, that I felt that he would be out of there, and it happened. And it sucks because you lose Paul George, you lose Russ. These are guys that were supposed to be faces and names and brands to help bring in this new LA wave with Intuit, with the jerseys of all of the California high schools in.
That's
to me, it's a big loss.
It's not too much of a big loss because eventually you're going to have to turn to the youth of the team. And something that I've been screaming since last year. It's time to go ahead and about face to the old and welcome the new. It's the same thing that we've been doing into it. Yep. We're leaving crypto. That's the old. It's time to go into new. And it's time to start to look at different stars that emerged in the Summer League, which we'll talk about later.
Yep.
But it's time to start looking at more youth and how can this old Clipper team start to revise itself and get better in time.
So I'm happy you said that. So with the loss of Paul George, who was one of the faces of the team, a guy that's a 25-5 guy. Any night he can be a 1B type of guy.
Don't care about that.
You lose Russ, who came into the season thinking, hey, I'm going to be the starting point guard. No, here comes James Harden. His role changes. Mm-hmm. He leaves unhappy now. He's going to be a Denver Nugget. Mm-hmm. And then you lose two bigs that helped you, that put you in a place where many people were thinking, hey, maybe this can be a championship team. Mm-hmm. With these losses, do you think that changed the perspective of this team? Are they not a team that's going to try to be a contender? Or do you kind of say, hey, we're rebuilding a little bit, which for me is hard to see because you have James Harden, you resign, you have Kawhi Leonard.
Well, it's not your typical rebuild in which you blow up the whole team and you go through the draft, because all of our draft capital was necessarily traded to OKC.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of a unique kind of build to it, in which you're picking up players that are, big on rewards, low on risk.
Yeah.
If they don't pan out, it's easy for me to get you off the books rather than, trying to search and things like that. You got people like Kobe Brown. You got people like necessarily Terrence Mann, Zubac. This is the time where you prove yourself.
Okay.
In which, if you don't prove yourself, it's a low risk for me because I can just package you up and send you elsewhere, and I don't really have to worry about that. A lot of things I noticed that the Clippers are doing because they're scared of the second apron is lining up everyone's contract to be done by the 26th season. And in the 26th season, if you're not aware of it, it's players like SGA, Anthony Edwards. Again, I'm just throwing names on the floor. Don't mean they're coming to the Clippers, but these are players that are still young that can easily be wooed because now you're at the creme de la creme of all arenas.
Yeah.
And people will be literally at your feet, at your disposal, because now you are in charge of the Los Angeles Clippers in this ship.
And, like you said, you mentioned those names. Maybe that might be the new outlook is that, hey, we still got Kawhi, who we know if he's healthy can be as great as he was last year. Now James Harden will have more on his plate. Last time he was that type of guy. You saw what he was able to do with the Rockets. Maybe they still see some of that in him. But, man, it's just tough when you lose a guy like Paul George. And then you lose Russell, I think was perfect for the branding because last season we thought, hey, they about to roll over to this new joint with 4 Southern California kids who grew up playing in this area that they're going to be able to promote and say, hey, come and watch him. And now 2 of those names are gone.
Don't get me wrong. I love Russ. I'm a big Russ fan. I'm a big Russ guy. It's sad to see Russ go. But that branding of bringing 4 LA guys in hasn't proved anything to me or brought me anything yet.
Yeah, true.
So it's about time to get rid of that. And it's time to bring in a new era into it, in which now we're getting back to that type of Clippers basketball I like when you had Pat Bev, you had Lou Will, you had Montrezl Harrell, you had some run and gun bulldogs, right? And I feel like that's the Clippers' identity. The Clippers even brought in Van Gundy to be defensive minded, which he was defensive minded in Boston. So now let's get back to being dogs, filthy animals, scrapping, lockdown defense, and that, defense win championships, right? The offense is going to come because now we're not just devoted to give the ball to one person. We all just stand back and look, right? If the ball's moving, everyone's touching, the ball's swinging around, you don't know who's going to give you 20 a night.
True.
But what I do expect a big leap from this year is going to come from Zubac and T-Man.
Oh, that's tough. Those are 2 guys that, you got to hope that can adjust because you are losing a guy in Paul George. The reason why Philly fans are so excited because I think they realize how great he is, where he can fit in his role there. But maybe he's disappointed to a bit, but it's still, man, to lose a 20-point score in today's NBA is tough, man.
Well, think about it, right? He said he didn't want to be. He said the option statement was blown out of control. But if you look at PG now, he's back being the 3rd option like he was on the Clippers.
Hey.
So again, what are we even talking about with that, right? It's like I said, PG talks in circles, right? He called us the B team, right? It's okay. We gonna be that team that beat your ass. That's what it means for. That's what the B team stand for. But it's okay. A lot of things that the Clippers did is going to benefit them in the long run. Because again, I've been preaching this for a long time. It's time for the youth movement. You see teams like OKC. You see teams like the Timberwolves. You see teams like the Kings. They're all pushing towards a new, I would say, regime of youth, and the Clippers are trying to get ahead of that curve.
Yeah. So hey, they got some big subtractions. But, that's not all. They had to make some additions to fill out some pieces here with this team. And we're going to talk about all of that and more with our off-season special after the break.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Welcome back to your Full Clip Clippers Unleashed off-season special with yours truly, Michael Matthew, and the one and only B. So we just talked about the subtractions. No PG, no Russ, no Plumlee, no Daniel Tice, but there was additions made to this team that's giving some Clipper fans some hope. So let's talk about it. You got the addition of Chris Dunn, who's a nice point guard, who has found his spot in the league, being a defensive guard and doing some really good things. What do you like about the addition of Chris Dunn?
So I like Chris Dunn, but it's just, let me get some back paperwork about Chris Dunn.
Okay. Former Clipper, right?
Fuck. Former Clipper. This is the shit that the Clippers pissed me off with. I'm going to go there because they did it. He was on the G League team. We had him for free 99. He went to Utah. Now we got to give up shit again to bring somebody back that we have a free 99. That drives me crazy. It's like we hustle backwards as an organization sometimes. But that's on a whole different tangent. Chris Dunn, I love it. His contract is structured again, another 3-year deal. But his 3-year deal can become guaranteed if he wins first team or second team defense.
Which it's going to be tough. But
it's tough, but if I want to get paid,
you got to come play crazy.
I'm going to play crazy. And the thing is, he has 2 seasons
to
try to get there. So it's really what we're bringing you in for is to be that lockdown defender. So when you're on the floor, your minutes is to be the pest and the heads, do all the rest.
And then he can do some things offensively to where you don't like that Russ is gone because of the name, the brand, who Russ is, future first ballot Hall of Famer. But Chris Dunn, at this moment of time, does a lot of Russell Westbrook things on the court in that specific role. So that's why I think the team was like, okay, we like this move, and then we still have Bones Highland that we can figure out with. But Chris Dunn was a nice pickup. You get the return of Nicholas Batum, a vet, a 3-and-D guy who clearly wants to be a Clipper. That's why he returned.
Battalion, stand up. Stand up and be proud. You're back. We love it. We love Nico, right?
Yep.
Nico should have been going in the first place, right? You hear PG said it before. He said, hey, we lost guys like Nico. You lost him again. Clearly, every time you pull up, Nico want to go.
Yeah.
So Nico is back. I'm happy he's back in L.A. He's not going to be probably the starting power forward, but damn it.
He's going to get some solid minutes.
That's a high HQ. That's I said high HQ. High IQ.
Yep.
That will, facilitate these, again, the youth. He's going to lead them in the right way. I love it.
Yeah, he's a guy that's a 3-and-D guy that's much needed. And I kind of see what they're doing. They're like, we don't need to get all these big names. We want to make a basketball team that's just going to depend on our top guys. Another guy they added was Derrick Jones Jr., who's coming off a nice run with the Dallas Mavericks going to the finals. I believe he's another player that's going to come in and be a starter, defensive guy. Bunny's out of the gym. People are going to love him there at Intuit Dome. What do you like about the addition of Derrick Jones?
He has to do more 3. He has the defense, but he has to be more of a more assertive kind of scorer a little bit.
Yeah.
But with James Harden, how he necessarily plays the game, it's going to be Lob City with him too.
Yeah.
So you're bringing that atmosphere back, and then, like I said, as you keep going through this list, it's a lot of forwards.
Yeah.
A lot of forwards.
And you need that because Kawhi Leonard, who was expected to play in the Olympics, wasn't able to play because they're like, hey, you're not where we want you to be. Or the Clippers were like, hey, We need you here. We're losing PG. We're losing Russ. We need you to be at your best. But you got some good forwards to surround him. But the guy I really want to talk about, because he is a serious wild card. A lot of people weren't fans of the addition because of some things that happened off the court. But I believe that if he has his head right and he comes and does what he do with the talent that he has, he's still young. He's a hooper. Kevin Porter Jr. is a guy that, does James Harden-like things on a basketball court. I think his addition can be huge for this team as a guy that if Norman Powell's going to move to the starting lineup, he comes in and he's that Kevin Porter Jr. is that guy off the bench to bring instant offense. So I like the move on the court. The PR team going to have to go to work and get some stuff together. But what's your thoughts on that addition, B?
It was reported that he's on a very short leash when it comes to any incidents involving his time on the Clippers. So for anyone out there that wants to keep saying, what he did, and we don't condone that here at Full Clip at all. But what I do condone is a bucket getter, and that's what he is. He is a bucket getter. And that's what I view it as. I keep it in between the lines when it goes to that. As a reporter, sometimes we do look outside those lines. Yep. And again, don't condone it, but in between the lines, I condone everything that he needs to do. Step back three, defense, be a pest, and just be a baller. And again, this is one of these statements that I said that's going to be, very high. If it pays off, it's a home run. But, it's going to be a low risk because if he doesn't pans out, that he's out the league. So the Clippers, if you notice some of these moves that the Clippers are bringing in, it reminds me of that team when SGA was young, they had Shamet. It was a lot of people playing with chips on their shoulder to prove themselves. And all the players that they bring in, they also still bring in Kai Jones. He's battling for the backup position spot. Yep. They bring in Mo Bamba as the backup center as well to back up Zubac, on a 1-year deal. Mosa is still competing for the backup spot. Yeah. So it's a lot of people competing for jobs that's going to make this team a nice running gun team. So even though you have two old dogs, you feel me, you got new ones that can do tricks.
Yeah, and, like you said, you mentioned Mo Bamba, who's a big body that, can replace Tice and Plumlee that they're losing. So, they're doing some things that you can see, that it's putting together more of a complete basketball team, not just big names, but like you said, there are a lot of guys that they're hoping to hit a home run with, especially a guy like Kevin Porter who can be a great steal.
Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be a great steal. You want to know why? Because he's in the pocket of the person that he's copied his game from. Yeah. He's copying his game from James Harden. He's literally in his pocket. He's going to be, I would say, eat, sleep, breathe the Harden show. So if you're doing that, and now, you're on a tight leash when it comes to PR and things like that. So all your mindset now is to hoop. Yeah. Hoop, eat, sleep, and breathe hoop. I don't want you to do nothing else. I don't even want you to watch the BET Awards. I want you to eat, sleep, and breathe hoops to give me that 20 points. Yeah. Right? He don't have to be my starter, but now you turn into the six man. The Clippers are crazy when they find these six men.
No, yeah, and you want him to imitate everything James Harden does on the floor, but off the court you don't want him to be with James Harden.
Hey, listen.
James Harden be out there.
Off the court, I just want you. I want you to go to bed. As a matter of fact, I want security to drive him home.
Hoop and it's a lot of guys that are on prove it type of deals.
Prove it.
And, it could be their final deal in the league, so they're going to be ready to go. One addition you mentioned earlier, Jeff Van Gundy, who's now on the staff. He coached with the Knicks. He coached with the Rockets. Now he's going to be there. He's somebody that's going to help coach up some defense because this team is going to try to look more athletic, play a much meaner and tougher game. And he's the perfect guy to join Ty Lue's staff.
He coached Ty Lue. If you think about it, he coached Ty Lue on the Rockets. So we have another eye on the court that's going to give these players a different mindset. And it's unselfish basketball at the end of the day. If you're looking at it, and I'm going to kind of go with this different mode a little bit, look at the Mavericks, right? Outside of Luka and Kyrie, everyone else was probably no names other than PJ Washington and things like that.
Complete basketball team.
But it was, other than those two stars, everything else was kind of open, right? Yeah. Look at the Boston Celtics, for example. Yeah. Brown, White, and Tatum.
Outside Holiday.
Oh, definitely Drew
Yeah,
Holiday.
Porzingis can't compare it to them.
No,
They're different.
But in that regime a little bit, right? It was selfless basketball.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Clippers a little bit, not comparing apples to apples, but if you look at this, it should be unselfish basketball because everyone should be playing D. If the offense is running, right, it's not running through a person that, that has to be on the ball 24/7. James Harden is willing to distribute.
Yeah.
And Kawhi can definitely be a Swiss Army knife as long as he stays healthy. That's basically it.
So that's what I'm interested in, to see how this offense is going to be put together, built through James and a healthy Kawhi, what they're hoping. But then a lot of these new pieces. But we got more for you. I was in Vegas. I was able to check out some Summer League action. It was a lot of fun. And the Clippers had some ballers on there. We're going to talk to them or talk more about them after the break.
Let's go.
Welcome back, Clipper Nation. Thank you so much for staying with us here at Full Clip Clippers Unleashed with Michael and Beef with our off-season special. But Beef, I was in Vegas.
Hey.
Of course, I had fun. You know what happens in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
But I was there at the Summer League. I was able to tap in and chop it up with some guys there at the Summer League. Shout out to Summer League coach Dahntay Jones, who I was able to talk to. Forward Kobe Brown and guard Jordan Miller. And guess what, Clipper fans? I got those interviews for you right here.
Dahntay, that was one of the more physical games that we've seen we play here so far. How did you feel like you guys handled that physicality?
I feel like if a game gets physical, it plays into our favor because of the type of dogs that we do have. I got 11 dogs over there that want to scrap, they want to be physical. They're playing for each other. They're talking. They're shrinking the floor. They're doing a great job of being one unit, and even though they haven't been together that long.
You guys seem like you had you found a matchup there for Kobe to attack. What was your thoughts on his performance tonight?
I thought Kobe did exactly what we needed him to: be aggressive, play make. We were playing through Kobe a lot, and he's been making a lot of plays. Today was his day to be aggressive and attack his matchup. And Kobe's a matchup nightmare, defensively and offensively. He can make plays, but he can also score when guys are not as big as he is.
Do you feel like you took that a little personal today, that matchup?
No, I think he was business as usual. It wasn't about who it was. It was about was the right play to make. And we've been on him to be super aggressive, to be strong with the basketball, to score. And as the game started to heighten, he started to be more aggressive, and he brought it home for us.
He played in the NBA level last year, but I don't remember him drawing too many fouls. He's been a monster just taking contact, getting the line. What have you seen just about his willingness to battle in there?
Well, I see him attacking the paint, getting paint touches. And when defense converge, I don't see too many guys as big as he is. So that's why we want him to be aggressive. We want him to take over games with his body, to get in the paint, to draw people, to make plays. But when they don't come, he has to finish. So right now, he has a super advantage. We didn't ask him to do that for us in the big club in the season last year. He's capable of being a ball handler and doing those things.
And Cameron was able to, knock down a couple shots there, finishing the game with 8 points. Where's his confidence level, and where's you guys' confidence in his play so far?
We're super confident in Cam. He's been doing a good job of taking good shots, making shots, but also defending. And for an 18-year-old to come out here and defend amongst some grown men, it's been phenomenal. He's doing everything we asked him to do, running the lanes to make opportunities for shooters. He didn't have too many early, but we got him two. And then crashing offensive glass. He's been doing some things he traditionally hasn't done, but he's been buying into what we're doing. He's been a huge asset for us.
Jordan's been solid, another solid game for him overall. Like nothing too flashy, he just does what he does. What you make of his game today? And this is all summer league so far. He's been really consistent for you guys.
No, he's been consistent as a guy who's in attack mode at all points of time. I'm proud of his defense. I'm proud of his playmaking. I'm proud of him playing in transition, not having to call any plays for him. I really didn't call any plays for him. He just gets it done and finds ways to score. So he got a lot in transition. He took some open shots. But Jordan's just a really good basketball player that can manipulate the game in a bunch of different ways.
You guys went 4-0 in this kind of pool play here. Put yourself in great position to be in the semifinals. How much was that obviously development and playing time was a goal, but how much was that a goal for you too, just to Keep going.
Well, part of development is winning and getting them in a winning mindset, giving them an identity, teaching them how to be an asset to our big ball club, and that's helped us win. We came out here wanting to win every game, and we did that so far. So wherever the chips lie, we're cool with it, but we did our job and came out there and competed, played hard, played defense, played together as a unit, and it is what it is after that.
And you come from playing under some, really great coaches in your career. How has that been able to help you to come out and lead this team to this undefeated start so far?
I get to learn on a great coach in Ty Lue. I played for some great coaches in my career. They've taught me to just have a level of intensity out there, to keep it, to be smart. And it taught me a bunch of different ways how to manipulate a game and how to be with your physicality, and that's what we've been doing so far.
You had a couple of plays there where huge defensive stops. You're there yelling, flexing with the guys. Like, where's that come from? I know you're a competitive guy, but where does that come from as a coach to just be that emotional about it?
Our team is connected from the coaching staff to the players, right? And we give energy. We want them to give energy to us. And we're into the game. That's just my personality. Like, I'm super competitive. I want those guys. I want the best for those guys. When they're giving it, I'm trying to give it right back to them so we can have some connectivity.
All right, you guys. Thank you. Yeah. I got to ask you, first of all, Dahntay said you were just playing your game, but did you take any matchup today a little more personal at some point in the game?
Somewhat, but I just wanted to win the game, and I just had to do whatever it took. That's what it came down to. But yeah, no, everything was a good team, decent team, so we just had to take care of business. They was just in our way, and we had to get past them and get to the next one.
What's with the emphasis to get inside, touch the paint, draw fouls? Like, not saying that wasn't there last year, but it seems like a strong emphasis for you this summer league.
Yeah, I feel like we're just a better team. Any team, whether it's the big team, G League team, this team, any team is better when someone's getting in the paint and kicking out to open guys who can shoot. We got the shooters. They just got to get the shots. So as long as we all just keep getting into the paint, finishing if we can. If not, kicking it out, we're going to get winning. There's not much the defense can do about it.
You're doing a lot of stuff, with the ball in your hand, even, initiating the offense, playmaking for others as well. Is that something that you always were able to do, that you're hoping to show off this year?
Yeah. I grew up playing 1 through 5 all my life. My dad was my high school coach and he just trained me growing up. But yeah, I've always been a point guard. I was actually a point guard first, and I grew. And at first I was like a finesse, like big guy, I guess you could say, and then it just turned to strength. I got to college, and I just added that part to my game. And now it's just I'm trying to put it all together.
You guys went 4-0 this kind of pool play here. Put yourself in a great position to reach the semifinals. Was that a goal for you guys at all? Obviously, you guys would have played, developed, and everything. But is that a goal for you guys?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. First day of training camp. I told some of our coaches before we even got to training camp that first thing I'm telling the team that we didn't do last year is no matter what the score is, we're going to keep scoring to the end to the buzzer sounds, because that's how we didn't get late in the playoffs last year. So it was definitely a focal point of ours to score as much as possible, while also winning games, so we have a shot at winning.
Do you remember that it was a point differential last year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so, you're one of the guys that, physicality is a big part of your game. Just how confident are you when you go inside that you can finish strong, even though a lot of guys are going to be coming at you there?
Yeah, no, I'm fairly confident. Honestly, really confident. I feel like even if I can't finish inside, someone's always be open, because you can't guard everything. And I feel like it takes sometimes, depending on the angle, it takes more than one person to stop a drive. So just praying off the defensive rotation, someone's going to be open. I'm pretty good at finding that guy.
Jordan's been pretty consistent for you guys. Nothing flashy today, but again, another really solid game for Jordan. What you make of his play tonight and throughout the summer league?
Man, Jordan's a great player, man. I've just seen him grow since we were drafted. When he first got here, he wasn't half as good at scoring as he is now. So I tip my hat to him every day. We're in the gym working every day, talking every day. We became super close, and man, I'm so happy for him. So happy for him.
Yeah, thank you. So what's up, Jordan? So just talk about just the physical play out there, being out there on the court, on the wing. How, the rest is kind of letting you guys play. How did you guys take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think Utah came out and played really hard. You can see in the first quarter we kind of were like on our feet, on our heels a little bit. But I think we just came back to playing our game and find a way just to get the dub. Not all of them are going to be pretty, and I think tonight was like a perfect example of that one.
And you've been playing, good ball throughout this whole summer league. Just how much has your game grown from where you were last year?
Yeah, a lot. Like, I'm just way more comfortable. I know, like, defensively, I wouldn't say I know 100% what I'm doing, but I would say 90%. Offensively, just finding what works for me, and just reps, you know what I mean? So it's been a good time, and it's definitely a lot better than how last year went.
I know this is a bit of a cliche, but Has the game kind of just slowed down for you? Like, I see like you're not in a rush out there. You're seeing the floor a lot better. It looks like the game's really slowed down for you.
Yeah, I would say yeah. You know, the G League, like I keep saying it, man, but like it really helped, and this is kind of an extension of it. A lot of these guys are newer guys. A lot of these guys I played against in the G League, so being able to kind of carry that play is something that helps me feel better and hopefully helps the team get W.
You've been pretty consistent throughout this whole summer league. What's just been the key to that? You see a lot of ups and downs for a lot of guys, whether they're first year, third year, whatever. Like, what's been the key to your consistency?
Oh, just the work I put in the summer. I mean, you can ask anybody. I can confidently say I got the most shots up, and I just been in the gym. Like, you know, like I'm glad that my hard work is paying off, and I'm just looking to build on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not satisfied. I don't think I will ever be satisfied, but that's a conversation for later. But you know, just getting after it every night, competing, and hopefully walking away with the championship.
You guys put yourself in a great position, going 4-0 in this kind of pool play here to reach the semifinals. How much was that a goal for you guys? Just obviously winning and developing is important, but that as well.
Yeah, I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody comes in the summer league not wanting to win a championship. You know what I mean? And you know, you got to go undefeated pretty much just to make it into the playoffs. So the fact that we're able to, as a group, like everybody else, you know, just started playing with each other, says a lot about us. But you know, now that we're in the playoffs, now we really got to, you know, step it up and bring home the championship. All right, you guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, so we just heard from Coach Jones. Mm-hmm. We heard from Kobe Brown. We heard from Jordan Miller, who was one of the biggest stars of the Summer League. First team all Summer League. He was third in scoring with 23.9 points a game. The guy was hooping. I might even be wrong. It might be 25. He was playing that special. But, man, it was good to, you know, to see them in action there live, definitely, to hear from them. And, you know, they're looking, both of the guys, Kobe Brown and Jordan Miller, they're looking to garner secure spots on the team and secure minutes on this team. And with you being a guy with, like, youth movement, what was your thoughts on the play of, let's start off with Jordan Miller?
I don't want to be arrogant, but don't it feel good to be right? God damn, I've been telling them, right? Hey, I'm going to give a shout out to this Zubac. It's a Zubac Twitter, right? Zubac season, right? I swear, I feel like just the GM of Twitter. He literally conjured up the ideas. I'm going to give a shout out to him. But it feels good to watch Jordan Miller and Kobe Brown. They're actually getting an opportunity. Yeah. Itself. Kobe Brown is actually on a solid contract, not a two-way or anything like that. So it will be nice to see how he rolls. His ceiling to me is like a Julius Randle.
Okay.
And Jordan Miller, man, it's exciting basketball. It's like watching and again, I'm not discrediting this game, but it's like watching a carbon copy of FGA. A poor version of it. Not when I say poor version, because Shay different right now. He to this day I cry in my room that we traded Shay. But it's a poor version of it that as a lefty is very crafty. He's the type of player that he doesn't play out of body. Yeah. He don't let you speed him up. Like it was a game against the Memphis Grizzlies, and Pippen Jr. was hesting him, doing everything under the sun. And he kept attacking, but he played his game. Yeah. Same with Kobe Brown. You feel me? He played within himself, bully ball, but played and things like that. And something that's sticking out to me, they're also a rookie that we probably won't see this year, but we'll see him in the years to come. Max Christie.
Cameron,
I'm sorry.
Max
Cameron.
Max is the Laker brother.
I'm sorry. We've been talking about Max all year, but I apologize. Cam Christie. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and those three guys being out there in Vegas, they stood out. You know, just being there with the other media members, people were talking about them and what Jordan was doing, the way that he was playing so silky smooth, attacking the basket, knocking down jumpers. It showed his time in the G League really mattered. You know, the former second-round pick that they drafted last year out of Miami, he showed a lot in this game. But Kobe Brown, you know, he talked about it because I was like, yo, I didn't know that you could play point guard and initiate offense like this, being a big body and, you know, going down there and scoring. He's like, hey, this is what I've been doing since high school. And he showed a lot. So with the subtractions of some of these guys, I think that Jordan really has a chance to secure a spot on this team and with a good training camp minutes. And I think Kobe should really get a look as well because he brings something different.
He won't secure a spot until PJ Tucker has his shipped out of here. PJ Tucker is taking free money, $11.5 million. He got to go because I want more youth at the position. And I would say even this, right? And y'all might call me crazy, but this is why I have a show and you don't. Kobe Brown started.
Ooh, that'll be different. But
make him earn his keep.
So last year when we were talking about Kobe, because you like, man, Kobe, I like the young guy. I think they tried to play him like PJ Tucker. They tried to put him in the corner, catch and shoot, things like that. But seeing him there in the summer league, he's shown that he was a guy that if you can get him in some pick and roll where he can get the ball and he can attack people's big, not only is he a big body that can score down there, he also can play make as well. And, as a former first-round pick, clearly the Clippers saw some type of talent that can be used. So I'm hoping that they find some minutes for him, and I'm hoping that they find minutes for Jordan Miller, man, because he's a baller.
It's not even finding minutes. I know it's a log jam with these guards. Like I said, it's very guard-heavy. But, Clippers, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? Yeah. Like, you want the whole thing is you gotta let these players actually play to be successful. So what do you gotta lose? I don't want to see nobody standing in no more corners. We ain't built like that no more.
Move, motion offense.
Move. Either you
pressing offense.
Move.
Yeah, do something. But
prime example. Yeah, New York Knicks.
Yeah,
non-stop moving. Indiana Pacers, non-stop moving.
Yeah.
Houston Rockets, for God's sake. Non-stop movement.
Even the champion Celtics move the ball. So that time of you just having guys and just playing only through them is not going to work. So hopefully they can move this ball and give them guys a chance. You mentioned Cameron Christie. He's another guy that stood out to me.
Ooh,
18 years old. He just turned 19 recently. But he's a catch-and-shoot guy that I think as he continues to get – maybe he's going to spend this year in the G League. He can find some minutes on the roster.
No, he's not coming on the roster.
No, I don't think so unless he just shoots lights out and puts on some muscle. But he's a prospect to look out for. But it was a great summer league. They went 4-1. They came up short in the semifinals, but it was some good basketball. Man. Shout out to Coach Dahntay Jones, man. He was able to do his thing. Looking like Coach K out there who he played under in college. But it's exciting time for the Clippers.
Definitely.
You got some changes on the roster. You got some young guys on the come up. They got this brand new Intuit Dome. I was able to go in there. It is beautiful. I'm telling you guys. Laker fans, you should even want to go and visit one of these times. You can check out what they got going. Because Steve Balmer, you are the MVP because what you did with that arena is amazing. And I can't wait for this season to come up. Beef, any last words before we get out of here?
Oh, as soon as that Halo come on, that's all I hear, and that's all I want to see. And I did get a chance to test them toilets, and I did get back to my seat at record time, and I washed my hands.
Hey, it's amazing. So I can't wait. Clipper Nation, I know you are excited, or some of you are uneasy because of the loss of PG, but hey, things are going to be okay. It's going to look beautiful in there. Let's see which players step up as you guys try to get back to that team that's fighting for a championship. But it's all on Kawhi. It's all on James Harden being the best guys. But it's exciting times. Michael Matthew here, my guy Beef. Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. We'll be back before training camp so that we can get you prepped and ready for this regular season. We catch you guys there.
Let's go.